As you all know, it's been a long day. We were out about, received a call at 10:28 to 3586 Raven Den Way, which is a subdivision on the base of this mountain right here that had a report of a fire, and we did encounter some heavy fire and some heavy winds upon our arrival. There were several of those structures up there that were severely threatened, and there was 2 people that needed immediate evacuation there that had to move to the top of the mountain and wait on some rescuers to be able to get them because of fire being on both sides of the road. At present time, we have the fire about 70% contained. You're looking at about 70 firefighters on the local and volunteer and municipal agencies, across the East Tennessee region that came here to help us. And Forestry's got somewhere probably about 40 to 50, with also a component from the National Park Service. We're working to contain those lines right now. The fire, because of the rain that just came in, has made it lay down a little bit for us, and it's behaving a little bit better than the conditions we had earlier. But we're still have our due diligence to worry about, as you all well know, about the heavy winds. They're supported but can come in, and as I just stepped out here, we're in a tornado watch. So we're trying to be careful of the fact that we keep our troops and our firefighters all in good shape and protected from that area. They don't have any trees come down or anything like that, and that we keep that area still secure so that there's no problems that occur over the night. A lot of different agencies. Of course, we're at Valley View Church. I can't say enough for them opening their doors and supplying us rehab for all the firefighters that we got out there, as well as a good facility to be able to operate in. Again, I told you 60 acres. That's what we're thinking it at, and again, a lot of different fire departments from all over East Tennessee region. We did activate the EOC. We did utilize Code Red to send out those messaging for that folks. This area is contained to just these 60 acres right now, because we're receiving calls. All the fire departments in the county are receiving calls, because I guess you could see this from a long ways out. We're really wanting to reassure the folks out there that we're 70% controlled. The conditions has helped us. We want them to, have some situation awareness, but we're not wanting them to be worried to death right now about where this is at, okay? If anything comes up, we'll have more information to follow. We'll be communicating to you about what this thing is continuing. Now, one thing I will say to you all is that probably y'all going to want to update about 6 o'clock. We'll try to facilitate that, and we'll work with you all on what time that would be. But now, do y'all have any questions for me?
Any structures damaged or on fire at this point? Nothing like that?
None. We've not lost any structure. We're very proud about that. The guys worked really hard to keep structures, because when I first arrived, there were several that were in peril.
How many homes or cabins are we talking about within this 60 acres or so?
So 12 right up there off of Ravenwood, and then again, as it moves in some different directions over there, we're going towards Claybow Hollow, and I believe, how many homes would you estimate up there? 10 or 15 homes up off of Claybow Hollow, which has got a line in between it now, and we're working that line and a safety line also, and we do have firefighting units up there that's been prepping those homes in case that fire breaks over that line.
How difficult is the terrain?
Terrible. Road up there, very hard to operate off of Ravenwood. We're having to keep it to smaller trucks and some tankers. Very difficult. Not a lot of places to turn around. So very, very difficult terrain up there. I did understand that the forestry, as cutting that line in, has encountered some rocks and some of that with the dozer lines are having to be hand placed in. But we're again working diligently. We got a lot of resources here. We're not taking this situation lightly. We're working to make sure we protect our community.
For the people in this area tonight, what's your advice to them?
So, of course, there's power lines still. You can't be up there putting the power lines back up on Ravenwood with all the, the fire activity still going on up there, okay? So the power lines are going to be down tonight. We don't think there'll be any entry there. For the people that live in the Claybow Hollow Way, the Wires Valley area right there, going towards Starkeytown, believe it or not, where we had that fire a couple of months ago, there's a lot of the Starkeytown area is a lot of just dense woodlands between there. So we say if you're in that area, just have some situational awareness. And we say that if you see fire, within, say 50 to 100 feet of your home, that you should call 911 and dispatch will dispatch those units back up there. So we're just saying some situational awareness. Now, if we get a good rain in there, hey, maybe we're good and we don't have to worry about that, okay? But we're all just praying for the rain and preparing for the worst, but praying for the rain.
Do you know what caused all this?
We're undetermined. It's been reported, I've not substantiated, there may have been some down power lines that caused that. But again, I've not seen that with my own eyes. That's just some reports that's come back from the field.
A lot of folks are anxious, given history, 2016 and the big fires. What would you say to those people that are kind of...
They have to have trust in their local firefighters. This community is unbelievable, and it's strong. And that we all work together. As you've seen up here, the amount of resources that's came to our aid, okay, between the highway patrol, between local law enforcement, that we're all working together, okay, with the forestry and everybody, that we take that risk to where there's no risk, okay. So we would just tell them to trust us, that we are doing our job to 100%, because if they're concerned, I'm concerned, okay. And that's why I want to tell you that, hey, they need to maintain some situational awareness, but if we were scared or concerned about them, we would go to, look at mandatory evacuations, which we've not done. Ravenwood, of course, I mean, everybody got out of there, of course, but we would be issuing mandatory evacuations in different places, okay? So we just tell them to trust us. As the fire service, as the government of our county and the city of Pigeon Forge, and everybody that's here, and everybody's here, so we say that all together, one thing.
So have you had to pull out any maps or anything and see what's in that area with the means?
Absolutely, we have.
Can you describe that process to figure out where we're going to cut those lines and where we're going to send crews?
So, my job is pretty simple. As when I arrived, I arrived pretty early, okay. There was just another engine right there. So the first thing I look for as the instant commander is not really where the fire's been, but where's it going, okay, and to get ahead of it and cut it off, okay. And then once we go past that, we start looking at what structures are threatened, okay. Now, when we get the forestry in there, we tie in very closely with the forestry and work hand in hand with those folks. And then they're really the ones that call where the lines are really putting in. And so we sort of shift that. We shift into a way of working with structure protection and let them focus in cutting in lines. And as we get some more qualified firefighters, to go dig those lines, then we'll supplement them. So we work hand in hand with the forestry on this. It's always been that way. That's what we do. We've got their presence in the command post. I cannot say how much it is to have everybody here present and working together, from EMS, from the Sheriff's Department, Tennessee Highway Patrol, the Tennessee Division of Forestry, the National Park Service. I mean, those agencies go on and on that are here helping us mitigate this situation. So, that I am the commander, the instant commander of that, but all that, you got those resources on the ground, you have to work through those. And those, local forestry people really are instrumental in helping us make those decisions to be able to make sure that we're taking care of that stuff.
Do you think you could say at this point in time that the fire is closer to being contained, or is it still too early to tell?
No, remember we're at 70%. So we started out at 0 at 1028 contained, and we're at 70%. So that's some good headway going that direction. Okay, so we're not able to say 100%. There will be still some smoke in the air. People need to realize that there still will be some smoke. There'll probably be some smoke depending on how much rain we got for several days. But again, the interesting thing is, if you don't see fire, okay, it's probably within inside that black area, okay? Because if we burn up the fuels that's inside that, we don't have to be worried about as much as coming back to it, okay?
We've still got a line of storms coming here pretty quickly. I would imagine you guys are watching those storms. Any concerns? High wind?
Absolutely, there's concerns, okay? When you talk about, I think the latest words were 80 mile-an-hour winds. Is that what you all probably know it better than I do, but 80 mile-an-hour winds. So what we prepare for is the fact that we have, that's why you see these resources there, spot fires that come up, okay? This little bit of rain, of course, makes it a whole lot better for it not to spread as so fast, but anything you push 80 mile an hour is going to be a problem, okay? Also, the problem lies with our troops in the areas because of trees coming down in those areas. So we're very concerned as we work through the night period of their safety for these firefighters, okay? The woods and the structures are not, our priority when it comes to that. We want to make sure those firefighters are safe because we don't want to be dealing with a line of duty death, okay? But yes, we are very concerned. We're making plans, contingency plans for, there's plenty of rain and we all get to pack up and go home, and that there's no rain, and that the wind gets out, and any tornado warning comes through here, okay? So we're preparing for all those situations as best as we know how to do.
When that boundary lines comes through, will you pull crews off the mountain while the heaviest part of the storms move through, or will you leave them up there?
No, I'll try to shelter them in place and have them find a safe place they can be inside the truck if it comes through really hard. Okay, I've already thought my way through what that would be. It would just be awful hard to pull them out of there. And again, that will be a decision that we'll have to count on our supervisors and them making good decisions on when they can engage if it does come through, okay? Again, we don't never know what it's going to do. We have to be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best, okay?
I would imagine you guys have done a lot of training in the last few years on this kind of scenario.
We have
How
always
has that
done
helped to
training.
prepare you for it?
Well, we always did train. Local fire service in this county has always trained, and they've trained hard. You know, we've got a lot of certified wildland firefighters in this county, 400 of them. I would give or take that. And if, unfortunately, this is not new for us. We've worked these situations before. Now, do we know everything? Absolutely not. But the interagency coordination and stuff that works together here out there is something I cannot say enough about, and for the resources to be able to come here and work together. So we've always been preparing for this. I mean, we are professional firefighters. We are professionals in what we do, and we're here to do the best job we can for our community. And the community loves us, and we love them, and we want to protect them.
I guess what I was kind of asking is if you've made any changes since 2016 that have benefited the efforts today.
Oh, absolutely. It's something as simple as communications and having radios. Anytime you go through a situation, I don't care if it's a little fire on the side of the road, anytime we work through a major, we're looking at those situations and trying to figure out how we can improve and how we can work better, okay? And that's something that we do all the time in this county. And, you know, the activation of the EOC is a good sign of that. The added communications abilities that we have, okay? So we all learn, okay, and we all get better. And that's just how you learn to do your job better, okay? We take that to heart because, I mean, we're servants of the community, and we realize that, and we're going to work our butts off to protect them. So I don't know if I've answered your question, but I'm trying. Any other questions?
Just to confirm, there's not been any structural loss.
No structural loss right now.
Social media, of course, is reporting that there's been one cabin or two cabins.
None. I'm very proud of that. Our initial firefighters worked their tail end off up there to assure that that didn't happen. And you look at it, 90% of them are volunteers up there doing that. And that's a heck of a thing. Again, I can't say enough for this community and what they've done, okay? And I appreciate you all helping us get the word out there to put that down on social media, okay? And the fact that here's where we're at. We're being very upfront and up and straight where we're at. And we just stay busy. I mean, I can't come out here and talk to you every little bit because I've got to make decisions based on, you know, where that fire's going, okay? Any other questions?
Who else is up there besides Pigeon Forge Fire Rescue?
So, Wards Valley Fire Department, of course, Pigeon Forge, Waldens Creek Fire Department, Sevierville Fire Department, Gatlinburg Fire Department, Sevier County Emergency Management Agency, Sevier County Sheriff's Department, Seymour Volunteer Fire Department, Canyons Chapel Volunteer Fire Department, Northview Fire Department, Pittman Center, Alcoa Fire Department, Friendsville Fire Department, Blount County Fire Department, and Townsend Fire Department. Sevier County EMS, and if I've missed any other, I apologize, but that's the list that has so far been populated to me. And the National Park Service, I already mentioned them earlier, and a lot of community support. You know, we've not wanted for anything. There's all kinds of food over there and stuff for us, okay?